If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in Transmogs. This has a very RP beige look to it, and I like it. Dreadful Gladiator Silgamus, my PvP vendor, 2 marks of honor to pick up those kind of grayish purple shoulders or brownish purple shoulders. It works. The chest, Dalaran, Wrath of the Lich King version, Legacy Quartermaster, buy for 210 gold, so that's an easy pickup. Moving on to the belt, which is going to spin you to the Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR version. Malkorok is the boss, 14% on the drop rate. Yeah, I've used that belt quite a bit, but I really like that set. Moving on, the legs are the Conqueror's Kirin leggings, which you can pick up out of Ulduar for your gift. Kind of a low drop rate to pick those up, but I do believe they work out pretty well here. And as we have a Lady Blood Elf showing defeat, Slippers of the Lonely Road. That means it's the road not taken. Eastern Pagelands, it is a quest reward called the Rough Roads. Moving on, doing a spin, we'll get to the cloak in a minute. The Hands, Gloves of Mountain Conquest. Neltharian's Lair, Dargul is the boss, kind of a low drop rate, but you can do it every day. And now we have a Nightborn dude showing the Quillstitch Great Cloak Drusvar. You can get that Horde Alliance by killing that rare, and it's got a decent drop rate. The head, Bloodthirsty Fireweave Cowl, which is crafted from tailoring. Check your local tailor or your local auction house to pick up that nice witch's hat. And the weapon is basically a drop out of Macquarie. Kind of difficult to get. Blue and purple definitely always work with mages, and the shoulders of the Underworld Mantle out of Ulduar. General Vizix is the boss, 5% on the drop rate. So that's an interesting look, I gotta say. Now we're going to spin you all the way to Legion to get the Vestment of Inflamed Blight from the Burning Throne, LFR version. Shadig is the boss, 8% on the drop rate. So 8% of the time he will hand you the robe. The belt, Tyrannical Gladiator's Court of Accuracy. If you're Horde, you're going to have to find a different belt because yours is a reddish color. 1 mark of honor to pick that up from the MOP PvP vendor. Moving on, we're going to go with the back, which you'll see in a little bit, but for now, we'll just tell you what it is. The Dread Aspirant's Cape, once again, this is Alliance only, PvP sources, but there are other blue capes you could easily use. Look at that, giving Panda a little bit of love. Eternal Boots of the Sky Strider. Mana Tombs, Nexus Prince Schaffer is the boss, 6% on the drop rate for those boots, but you could go with any kind of grayish boots. The Hand Static Charge Hand Wraps, Ulduar Cache of Innovation. So you gotta head to Ulduar to get the gloves and the chest. 14% drop rate on the hand wraps. Got a Blood Elf dude showing you the Veil of Airy Peak. Of course, Airy Peak is in the Hinterlands. There's the quest, so it's a quest reward. You might already have it, who knows. And we're gonna move on to the weapon. Last but not least, this is the default artifact for Frost Mages. You could always go with something different if you're not a Frost Mage. Something a little chilly for Frost and a little bit of magic for Arcane Mantle of the Sky Terror. Battle of Dazalahar, keep in mind, Mythic version. Paku's aspect, kind of a fair drop rate to pick up those really cool looking shoulders. Now we're going to spin you back to Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR version, Sun Tenderheart, 16%. For the drop of the Robe of the Tender Heart. Moving on, the belt, part of the same tier set as the shoulders, which means, yes it does, Battle of Dazalahar, Mythic, Opulence is the boss. Got to take him out to get the waist card of Flowing Silk. Very, very mage-like. Moving on, the back, Shawl of Nerubian Silk. Ice Crown Citadel, Heroic, 10-man, Lord Marigar, 16% on the drop rate. Moving on, we have a Lady Void Elf showing defeat, Cindercloth Boots, super easy to pick up. Check your local tailor or basically your local auction house. Look at that cloak. Look how awesome that cloak goes with this set. Now we're going to move on to the hands, which are Firecaller's hand wraps, part of the same tier set as the shoulders and belt. So, of course, you can pick that up from Anathos Firecallers. Kind of fair drop right there. Blood Elf dude showing the head. Snowblind Cowl, High Mountain. A lot of lookalikes, but you can get this off of a quest reward. The quest is called The Three. And moving on, we have the weapon, which is straight out of Uldir Heroic. Drops from the Fetid Devourer, kind of a decent drop rate to get the staff. Really like that gray and blue. I'm really digging this set. I like the look. It's kind of different, but I like it. A miss of the Reef Witch. Of course, that's from the Eternal Palace Heroic. As you can see, the boss, very zealous, 5% on the drop rate to get the shoulders. So the shoulders, the head, and the belt, all from the same tier. The chest, very easy to get, vanilla level tailoring. Check your local tailor, your local auction house. Moving on, we're going to show you the belt, which is also out of the Eternal Palace Heroic. Orgozoa, which I may or may not have said correctly. Don't really care. 5% on the drop rate to pick up the belt. The legs, Ghostweave Pants, vanilla level tailoring, part of the same set as the chest, which you really can't see, but you can see the armband sort of, so it's definitely gonna have to get the Ghostweave chest and legs. The feet, light feather foot pads, Battle of Dazzle-Ahar, Heroic, there's the boss, 5% on the drop rate. The hands, Fire Caller's hand wraps, Battle of Dazzle-Ahar, Heroic. There's the boss, 5% on the drop rate. Sound familiar? The back, Cloak of Ill Tidings, Eternal Palace Mythic, 12% on the drop rate. Now we have, I believe, a Lady Night Elf showing a tabard. Golden Lotus tabard. You get a need gold and Exalted Rep with the Golden Lotus to get that tabard. The head, also part of the same tier set as the shoulders. The belt, that is from the Eternal Palace Mythic. And the weapon, which is straight out of Ice Crown Training Grounds. You got to get to the Stormwind Quartermaster. Very fire-like here. I really dig these shoulders. Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic, Sun-Tend Heart, 17% on the drop rate. Love those shoulders. I really love those shoulders. And I just like the look. All three of them. All three recolors, just love them. Elementalist Tunic, Blade's Edge Mountain. Rivendark is the rare and kind of a easy pickup on the auction house as well. But you can't really see it behind the tabard, obviously. The belt, part of the same tier set as the shoulders, so that, of course, is Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic. Moving on to the legs, Elementalist Leggings, Blade's Edge Mountains. Apex's Guardians, drop it if you want to farm it, or you can buy it on the auction house. The feet, Omnicast Boots, Blackrock Depths. You can see the boss. Great drop rate to pick up those boots. Kind of a brown, reddish look. The wrist. Keep in mind, these are the wrists. This is the bracers. Siege of Orgrimmar, Kilruck the Wind Reaver, 24% on the drop rate for the wrist. We didn't go with the gloves here. The back, Cloak of Certain Reprieve, easy to get. Nether Storm, BC PvP vendor. 1 or 2 marks of honor, not sure exactly which. The head, Night Veil Cal, Val Shara. There's the quest reward to pick that up. Got a Lady Draenor showing the tabard, which is the tabard of the Shadowpan. Townlong Steps, Shadowpan Quartermaster, gold and Exalted Rep to pick that up. The offhand, First Watcher's Lantern. It's a quest reward out of Drustvar. I think there's a lookalike for the Horde. And the weapon, Feeding Frenzy, Firelands Heroic, Shaddix is the boss. Decent drop rate. This set doesn't look that great on the Orc Lady here, but then again, not many do. The fact is, I got to give everybody equal billing. Some races things look great, some they don't, and vice versa, you never know, but not so great here on the Orc, but I'm giving her equal billing. The chest, Ancient Gore-Stained Wrap is the chest. Hellfire Citadel, Kilrog Deadeye, 12% chance. Kilrog Deadeye will give it to you right before he bites the dust. The belt is out of Siege of Orgrimmar LFR. Malkorak is the boss, 14% on the drop rate. It's part of the same tier set as the shoulders, by the way. Moving on, the back is the Dreadful Gladiator's Cape of Prowess, bot PvP vendor, 1 mark of honor if you Horde. Yeah, I think you get the same one if you Horde. Moving on, we have a Lady Blood Elf showing the feet, Primal Combatants, Treads of Cruelty. WoD PvP vendor, 2 marks of honor to get those old school PvP boots. Look at that cloak, looks really cool, I think. And the ladies can stick around, show us the Gloves of Abhorrent Strategies. The Burning Throne Heroic, Fell Seeker, Ritualist, drop it. Kind of a fair drop rate to get those purple gloves. Now we're giving the undead a little love. The head, Runebound Collar, the Burning Throne, Agramar is the boss. Kind of a fair drop rate to pick that up. And we're gonna have one last thing to say about the weapon here. Baleful Spire. It's an Ant Jungle Baleful Armaments, one of those armaments that you can pick up and make for yourself. If you're still listening up and until now, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll close out by saying what I always say: whatever it is by you, whether it is morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.